Hello and welcome to this study tutorial on playing Dust in the Wind, a song by Kansas, which I was asked to do by Charles Dunkel in the States. And instead of being a normal playthrough, I'm actually going to go through the techniques that you need for this one. But to really understand it, you should get in contact with me to get the music and tabs. Email is on the information part of the YouTube track. So, I'm going to start with this, what's called Travis picking, at least it would be on guitar, don't know what you call it on a ukulele. The thing to do with these kind of things is to find a pattern that you can repeat, and though you're doing little movements with the left hand, the right hand, which is quite complex, you could do it just with open strings. You're doing a P and an A together, so you're getting the G and the A string, and then going I, M, and then dividing them out like this. So it's, and for the first 8 bars, that's all that happens with the right hand, but you've got other notes happening as well. So then at the end of bar 8, just got the beginning of the tune. And for the tune you could try and put those little fingering patterns in, but the important thing now is to get the melody at the right place. So a couple of things about this, apart from the fact I was playing it pretty atrociously. C is obvious. The G though, I'm starting with that G but then moving and adding the B note in on the G string. It just adds a little bit of harmonic movement, which I think is one of the joys of the ukulele. Then I'm using that A minor. You can use that one, well, I suppose you could use that one. That one if you're playing on soprano, or if your hand is a good big one and you're used to doing that, if you've done things like Hotel California and things where that is such a key idea. But in this one, that's fine, especially since it's not too much of a stretch from there to there. Then so you got that G, then chord of D minor 7 is effectively an F in bar 11. But then to this A minor, but you're sliding up from the D to the E. Sometimes with these offbeat chords you can just add a little brush stroke with the first fingernail and it works. Notice a little dotted note in that bar 15. From the 10 to the 8. Okay, and that gives you the gist of how to get that dust in the wind phrase. Notice you can change in that bar 18 to that A minor 7th. And then you're off back to the beginning of the melody line at bar 9. And then the second time ending changes the way the melody note goes. And then in bar 23 you've got the start of the violin section where you've got a rather strange G idea where you actually you're adding a 9th, and at the beginning you're adding this G 13th, then to the F, and in the music, I've got the tab going 5, 5, 5, 12, but you could use 10, 9, 8, 12 for that F if that's too much for each. And then you're back to the A minor. And then these are all the violin parts. So it starts getting difficult about bar 33, where you've suddenly got the A minor, then you've got to get up to the the fifth position, so that was where I found the easiest way of fingering that part. And there's a strange concept in bar 35. It's all semiquavers. The way to think of that is actually in groups of 3. So you get 10, 12, 10, 8, 10, 8, 7, 8, 7, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 8. It's making little peaks. Da 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 da. And if you can remember that idea, it makes it much simpler to learn. Music programs don't like writing things out of the way that they normally are, but really those semiquavers should be divided into groups of 3. But they're not triplets; they are semiquavers. But think of them as da 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 ba 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 ba. But of course, if you have 5 of those, you get to 15. You need 16 in the bar. That's why you've got that B at the end of it. And in the next bar, where it's ascending rather than descending, 2, 3, then back to this 5. Again, think of that in the groups where you've got repeated notes, especially that 8 and 7. After the A minor, then 2, 3, then up to the 5th position, 7, 8, slide up to the 10, and that should sort of make the whole thing seem to flow much easier. And then you got back to this. That one, then that. From bar 41 you go back to the sign, which is at bar 9. That takes you back to where it says decoder at bar 22, and then you'll be going to 42, where you've got more repeats of the dust in the wind phrase, before you get to the ending, which is the same as the beginning. And you could play it through twice and fade out, or just one nice way of ending any piece of music on the ukulele, just with an A minor 7 chord, or do it as a harmonic up at the 12th fret. So I hope that's given you enough of a gist, those people who are following the music in this one, to learn to play Dust in the Wind. As I say, look, send for the tabs from me. And if it's your first one, you get them for free. Thank you for watching.